Campaign Execution 101. There are many ways to generate demand. I will focus on one of the many, a sales blitz, so you can get a holistic idea of the level of detail that a campaign encompasses. We will be talking about demand generation, lead generation, a blitz in a box, give you some sales enablement tools, and talk about the results. So let's get started. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Demand gen or lead gen? Demand gen is absolutely a team sport, requiring cooperation between sales and marketing. Make sure you're talking in the same language. What's a qualified lead? What does that mean to sales? And what does that mean to marketing? Work together to agree on standards for lead scoring, qualification, and for following up on a lead. That's crucial. An integrated marketing campaign plays an important part in building a strong sales and marketing relationship. The idea is to convert those leads into revenue and into raving customers. Demand gen is getting people interested in what you have to sell. Lead gen is the task of tuning that interest into names and contact details, leads, that your sales teams can follow up. The most obvious difference between a demand gen campaign and a lead generation campaign is whether the campaign asks for contact information or not. If you gate your content behind a form asking for contact details and then pay to distribute it to the target audience, then you're running a lead generation campaign. Your main objective for that piece of activity isn't to get as many people as possible engaging with your content. It's to capture as many leads as possible by giving people a reason to share contact details and making it easy for them to do so. That's brand awareness. Demand gen is the umbrella that lead generation falls under. Lead generation is more suited to detailed content. Often people expect a little more if they're forced to fill out a form, which is why ebooks and white papers and reports and all other forms of long form content are commonly used for lead generation. So demand generation defined. Demand generation is the focus of targeted marketing programs to drive awareness and interest in companies' products and or services. What does demand generation look like? Demand generation is conducted through a number of different tactics to generate leads. These include filling out a form, downloading a piece of content, signing up for a webinar, and so forth. From there, the lead is nurtured from that first interaction along a journey to the consideration phase, where marketing passes the qualified lead off to sales. Not all nurtured leads are always going to be sales ready. But if they aren't ready to buy now, that doesn't mean they'll never buy. Sales can return those leads back to marketing to further nurturing. Marketing can re-engage those leads and try again to reach that benchmark level of interaction to return them back to sales to further conversations. And here are some examples of what demand generation looks like. Traditional marketing, that would be events, traditional ads, and billboards. Web insights and inbound marketing. Your website is one of your most important demand generation assets. It's where you can observe the digital fingerprints of people visiting your website, which reveal their interests, pain points, content preferences, and even urgency. Many inbound marketing tactics include content offers, blog posts, and other website resources. Content marketing. Content marketing is the fuel that powers your demand gen engine. In fact, 75% of executives interviewed in Demand Gen's 2014 B2B buyer behavior survey say that they rely more on content to research purchases than they did a year earlier. And 64% said a vendor's content had a significant impact on their buying decision. Content can include anything from blog posts, press releases, case studies, ebooks, white papers, infographics, videos, emails. The list goes on. If you can build it, they're likely to come. The most important piece of a content marketing strategy is matching content with the prospect's individual pain points. Its readiness to buy, content preferences, and where they're at in their purchasing journey. You should start by asking yourself and your sales team a few questions like, who are your ideal prospects and customers? How do they go about making buying decisions? What are their questions and their pain points? What are some of their common objectives? Use those answers to those questions to guide the content you create, making it more relevant to your audience, which will help you attract higher quality, more suitable leads. Now let's talk about social media marketing. There are 3 pillars of social media strategy, vital to the success of your program. The first one is focus. Always be focused on your customers' needs. This includes listening, joining groups, and creating conversations. Second, you'll want to inform. This includes educating your audience on all things related to your vertical or theirs. Third, and the final pillar, is trust. If you're successful in the first 2 pillars, then the third one should follow suit easily. The most important part of a social media strategy should be to build rapport with your audience so they can look at you as a thought leader and a problem solver, and to really build trust. You should work to inspire your audience consistently. Lead nurturing. It's about educating. Build a nurture stream. Lead scoring. The higher the score, the more qualified the lead is, and you can give it off to sales. Measuring and optimization. In order to get a good pulse on your marketing efforts, you'll want to take a look at things like closing percentages, cost per acquisition, cost per lead, the average deal size, and the time to close. Once the leads you have generated have been nurtured by your marketing or demand gen team, they will pass off to the sales team once they've reached a level of engagement that both sales and marketing have previously agreed upon as being ready for contact. And sales will then move these prospects to an opportunity stage where then they will become customers. Demand generation tools, marketing automation, pre-written communications designed to create action, developing a relationship with your customers. Some examples are contact forms and email series used to nurture your customers. The CRM. Here you gather business intelligence to connect with a target market and win their business. Inbound marketing platform. Comprehensive ability to track behavior and touch points across email, social media, website, landing pages, and call to action. Social media, used to connect, prosper, generate demand, and to stay relevant. Calling a person to accept your invite to connect is easier than a cold call. Some classic demand generation tools are TV ads, radio ads, billboards, newsletters, events, trade shows, sponsorships, and webinars. Demand generation tactics. Demand generation tends to focus on brand positioning and brand awareness. To raise awareness, you want to remove all barriers between people and your content. Basically the opposite of gated content. The wider the net, the better. It could be videos, list, blog post, and accessible resources are all forms that suit demand generation. These types of content are often dubbed inbound marketing. They also perform generally better than their lead generation counterparts on social media, and that's the point. The goal of demand generation isn't immediate, but more of a long-term shift in perception. Search engine optimization can also serve a big role in this process. Blog posts and websites that end up highly ranked in search will immediately place your business top of mind for anyone actively seeking out that subject matter this week or 3 months from now. When planning a campaign, target email campaigns to new businesses. Focus on key verticals. Establish cadence for regular touch points with prospects and customers. Leverage distributor events if that applies to your industry. Know your marketing team and the tools you have available. Leverage field marketing for support and content. Email templates, customizable account manager emails, solution focused, introductory and prospecting letters, and campaign specific. Plan Blitz days if applicable. Demand gen is the focus of targeted marketing programs to drive awareness and interest in a company's product and or services. It involves multiple areas of marketing and is really the marriage of marketing programs coupled with a structured sales process intended to increase leads and the bottom line revenue. Can anyone give me an example of a demand gen asset? Think about it. A sponsored white paper, a weekly newsletter, a meetup event maybe, or a company sponsored webinar. Yep, you got it. Let's talk about campaign methods. Inbound, social media marketing, search engine optimization, and branding. With inbound marketing, it's a two-way communication. People can talk back and engage with the brand. They can send an email, leave a comment on a blog, post on social media, leave a review on a third-party site, and engage your business in many ways. The internet has returned power to the customer. The key to success in inbound marketing is transparency, honesty, and engagement. You must be transparent and honest about your products and services. And you have to engage with people who are talking about your brand, even when the comments are negative. Outbound marketing. You know, there's been a decline in outbound marketing due to a shift in consumer behavior. People are more in control of what information they receive and how they receive it. Examples of outbound marketing would be direct sales and telesales. Let's talk a little about the sales cycle. Plan and prospect. Qualify. You show them the solution. It's value-based selling by way of a demo. You propose and you close, you implement, then you validate the value. How? By measuring. What's in a blitz? A blitz is defined as an intensive campaign or attack. It's very short, intensive, and focused marketing campaign for a product or a business. Here are some do's and don'ts of organizing a sales blitz. First of all, you need to have a specific task in mind and make it simple. In other words, a cold call to qualify a prospect. That could be. Focus the team on a specific area or market segment. Equip each person with the tools necessary to accomplish this task. Thoroughly train your team. Even with an experienced sales group, I spent at least 1 day role-playing, critiquing, and practicing. Keep it short and sweet. Break the group up into pairs or teams and create a competition among them. Have some type of daily debriefing, a half-hour meeting at the end of the day. That was usually my choice. Offer a daily recognition and reward. Post the results and follow through on the leads created to make sure they're not squandered. Here are some examples of a well-thought-out lead gen campaign that includes talking points for the sales team. It's a document with introduction that incorporates case studies, the benefits of your products, brief product details, and customer testimonials. Work with management to develop programs and promotions. Here's an example of a national sales blitz. Segment the data to get the target that you're focused on and remind your teams. This was actually a slide that was sent out to a team, reminding them what we were doing and when we were doing it. It was our timeline, a reminder. Lead generation campaign. Here's a blitz. And if you notice on the right-hand side, there's a registration site where the actual customers would go ahead and register for the event. And at the end, if you see on the left-hand side, you'll see the goals achieved. Results here speak for themselves. If you notice on the left, opportunities generated quarter over quarter just by the blitz. And on the right-hand side, you see the increase, the peak of the actual revenue. And that was all recorded in Salesforce. And this is effort of, you can do it anywhere between 1 to 3 days. 3 days would be perfect. How to launch a marketing campaign in 7 easy steps. You've heard this before. Choose your end goal. Set up your campaign budget. Identify your target audience. Design your content. Choose your channels. Launch and monitor. Analyze results. The more granular and quantifiable your goal, the better. Are you looking to promote a new product, increase sales, increase customers, improve retention rate, improve repeat customers, get good publicity, or raise brand awareness? When setting your budget, calculate how much income you generate from an average customer, also referred to as the lifetime value. If you're a small business, use the cash that you have. Don't borrow any money. Next, figure out whom you're targeting. Understanding the general demographic and needs of your audience will help you craft a relevant, valuable, and memorable marketing campaign. The content of your marketing campaign conveys a certain message and contains your call to action. Your call to action should be specific and obvious to the people you are marketing to. It's generally considered a marketing best practice to only include one call to action per campaign in order to avoid confusing people or diluting your results. Your content can take many forms. If you're creating a content marketing campaign, for example, you might choose to market a blog post or a video that encourages viewers to subscribe to your blog. In this case, your call to action would be subscribing to the blog. If you're implementing a direct mail marketing campaign, your content may be a postcard or a flyer that asks recipients to redeem a discount. In this case, your call to action would be redeeming a code to receive a discount. Typical channels include email, direct mail, radio, social media, TV, events, trade shows, online advertising, digital media, print media, and publicity. Consider your audience. Where do they spend their time? An effective marketing campaign incorporates multiple channels to touch potential customers as many times and in as many ways as possible. Keep careful track of your results. Have a promotion code for the campaign. That works. Did it meet your original goal? Which components were most helpful towards meeting the goal? How about the least helpful? Would you repeat the campaign? Why or why not? Which aspect of the campaign was the simplest? How about the most frustrating? What did you learn about your customers? Were you operating under any wrong assumptions? These are things to consider when planning a marketing campaign. Don't forget to communicate the location of the collateral with your team. Here's a list of content strategies. Don't forget to test. Elements to test: sender, subject lines, preview text, message copy, headlines, subheadlines, supporting images, design, colors, and call to action. In layman terms, A/B testing, also known as split testing or bucket testing, is a method of comparing two versions of a web page or app against each other to determine which one performs better. So we're doing this with our email campaigns. We test everything and then determine metrics that you will monitor. You've got this. I'm looking forward to seeing your marketing plans.